And he said to me, you know, the fans out there, they all know about Elvis the image. And you know as well as I do, the image and the real person are light years apart.
Few people know that Elvis Presley was haunted his entire life by the specter of his dead twin brother, Jesse Garrett. Elvis was born in this shotgun shack in East Tupelo, Mississippi. Records show that his twin brother's birth preceded his own by more than half an hour. Tragically, by the time Elvis was born, Jesse Garrett Presley had already been declared dead. When Elvis died, there was almost nothing known about the psychology of twinless twins. In fact, there are at least 500,000 twinless twins in the world today. They are united by a common yet unexplained phenomenon, the unshakable conviction that the spirit of the lost twin lives on.
When Elvis was a child, 5, 6 years old, he used to tell me that he used to hear a voice inside of his head, and it used to confuse him, and it used to scare him a little bit, and he was afraid to mention it to anyone. He thought perhaps it was his brother Jesse communicating to him, telling him what to do.
Merry Christmas, Jesse Garrett. I brought you some flowers and some chocolate drops. It sure looks like it's gonna rain, don't it?
Well, this really started something.
I noticed we wound up at Self-Realization Fellowship. So it was those dichotomies from being Marlon Brando to, and the Wild Ones to Yogananda and Self-Realization Fellowship.
And the weekends we would go up to Self-Realization Fellowship up in Mount Washington. I always loved that because it was very serene, very spiritual up there, and he liked to go and roam around, you know, and sit down by the trees, hang out there.
Vernon was so nervous, waiting for this baby to be born, that he walked outside to have a cigarette. He said the wind was blowing and it was freezing cold, and I lit up a cigarette and I looked up and I thought I saw a blue light over the house.
Some fans have turned the events of his birth into a strangely familiar story. Elvis, they say, was born in a house little bigger than a stable, and at the moment of his birth,
a light had shone so brightly on the little house which he was born that Vernon actually had his way lit to the well. He could see his way to the well for water that night. And also all the medicine bottles started vibrating very loudly on the shelves during, you know, when Elvis was born, the moments when he was born.
All the time that Elvis went, and then he would go to where the monks lived and Dayamata lived, which is up in the hills in Pasadena, and spend hours, and nobody ever knew. There was never press about it. It was not about money. I know it sounds weird, but I felt something like a blast.
He turns around and he looks at me, and he had tears in his eyes. He said, it happened, it finally happened.
And I know Larry and Elvis went outside, and I know he was looking up.
Now I know.
I think he knew that he was blessed, that he was special, and he wanted to know why and what was the purpose.